In this tutorial, I show you how to make scalable families. In this example, I take this power surge sign, which contains only one type, and copy that along the elevation twice. And then, using the width parameter, I set my desired width for each of the new instances. Watch as the scale adjusts accordingly. The best way to understand how this works is to review how it was made. Let's start at the end and reverse engineer this workflow. That's coming up straight after this. Welcome to Power Surge, where I show you everything that I know about Revit. If you are visiting today, consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on any future content. The first thing to notice is that the family is a host for a separate family which has been nested within. Over on the project browser, we can get some more information about the nested component. Expanding the tree reveals that the nested component is part of the planting category, which is different to the host category. Keep that in mind because that's a key part of this workflow. Parametrically, this family is quite simple, with most of the flexing coming from this scale factor parameter. Let's continue to unpack this workflow by opening up the aforementioned nested family. This reveals yet another nested component, also part of the planting categories. In elevation, this nested component is simpler than the host and also contains less parameters, with only a default height. Let's drill deeper and open the nested component. This is the base family, and the project browser confirms this by showing there are no more nested elements. Switching to the front elevation, it is the most complex of all those we have seen thus far. So this is the starting point, where you would model the graphics, and this is simply composed of extrusions and model text. The important thing to note here is the category, which is set to planting. That seems odd, don't you think? What's with the planting category? Let's understand this a little more. In this sample project, there are some tree families. These are part of the planting category. As shown, there are different sizes within this model. So if I edit this family, I can see a height parameter, and by editing this value, I can actually change the height of the tree, scaling it down in size. So here, we change the value to something slightly smaller, and the tree has been scaled down. Now let's make a more obvious change. And there you have it. The planting category has a hardwired height parameter that drives the scale of the modeled elements. To get this to work efficiently, we nest the base planting family into an intermediate host, if you like. And the reason for this is to redefine the scaling factor. For my signs, I would like to drive their size according to width. But first, I need a reference, so I use the signage height from the original base family. But as the sign width increases, the height will increase also, so I need to define a consistent multiplier. To get this figure, I divide the width by the height, and the resulting calculated value will be my scaling factor. And that's it. That's the last step. So you too now can make scalable families. Step 1. Create your base family using the planting category. Step 2. Nest the base family into a second planting category family. This would be Family 2. Step 3. In Family 2, set the scale factor and then nest into the host. Step 4. In the host, redefine the category as per the requirements of the project. That's the end of the tutorial. I hope that you learned something new and found that interesting. If you did, consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on any future content, and I will see you in the next video.